3. Simplify, and what are the non-permissible values? So we have this 2m squared minus 7m minus 15 over 2m squared minus 10m. Then we're dividing by another rational expression, and then we're multiplying by a third rational expression. I, first of all, would put that third rational expression over 1, so I don't get confused about where does that 3 minus 2m go. Now I can clearly see it's a numerator piece. Okay, this factoring of this guy is going to be a little bit more tricky because there's a number in front. So we do want factors of negative 30 that add together to get negative 7. Does anybody know what they are? Negative 10 and positive 3, good, yeah, right? But it's not m minus 10 and m plus 3 because we got that 2 in front. So we will split this, okay? Or do you guys want to try it the other way? Want to try it the other way? How many people like the splitting instead? We can stick with splitting. Okay, the first piece stays the same, the last piece stays the same. The middle would be still, we use these numbers here, negative 10 and plus 3, but they have to stay as m's. So negative 10m plus 3m. Split it down the middle sign goes to the right-hand side. What's the greatest common factor of the first half? 2m. Okay? What's the leftovers there? m minus 5. Good. Over here we take out the sign. And the greatest common factor, which is a 3, and you have an m minus 5. We've done it right, so we have an m minus 5 as one of our factors, and the 2m plus 3 becomes our other factor. Now, the reason why I thought you might want to try the other way is now that you're going to be faster at factoring, we know one of these factors must start with a 2m, but we don't know which one, so we make sure that we divided 2 back out at the end. Remember, these numbers now can go here, oops, 3, and this one's the one that's divisible by 2. I need to divide both pieces by 2, so it's an m minus 5 and a 2m plus 3. So you could have skipped a bunch of work there if you start using that if you want to. Okay, so we factored this. We have a m minus 5 and a 2m plus 3. Okay, what about my denominator there? It's only a binomial. Order's good. I check greatest common factor. What's the greatest common factor? 2m. And what am I left with? M minus 5. Good. So it's not a quadratic anymore that I have to factor because I just took out the greatest common factor. Okay, division. What am I going to get from my numerator there? It's difference of squares, so I'm going to get a 2m plus 3, 2m minus 3. Okay, 2m plus 3. I'm going to erase this stuff. 2m minus 3 over, and I can leave it as a 6, or I can split it into prime factors and put it as 2 times 3. It doesn't really matter. Okay, last one. I can leave it this way if I want. Because it is factored, it's just not a great factoring because the order's not there. But remember, we can leave it that way if we want to. I should make it a little bit more even. I can leave it that way. Or I can reorder it, so it's a negative 2m plus 3, and then float a negative 1. Okay, so it's up to you if you want to leave it or not. I'm going to keep mine like this. So I factored my numerator, I factored my denominator. Anything after multiplication stays exactly the same. Okay, so this and the first one stays the same for sure. So this first one stays the same. This last one stays the same. Or you could have pulled out the negative 1 if you needed to. The middle one, though, is where it's going to become multiplication, and I split it, or switch it, so it's the reciprocal. So my 6 goes on top, and my 2m plus 3 goes on the bottom with my 2m minus 3. Are you okay with that? Multiplied by the reciprocal when I had division. Okay, now I can start canceling stuff. I can cancel 2m plus 3 with 2m plus 3. I can cancel m minus 5 with m minus 5. Can I cancel my other set of brackets? can, but what am I left with? A negative 1. Now here's why. Plus 2m with a minus 3. This is a minus 2m with a plus 3. So they have the exact opposite signs for all their terms, so it can cancel and be a negative 1. Or, if you were somebody that did not write it this way, if you started with it this way, then you took out a negative 1, and you got this, then you could see that the 2m minus 3 would cancel, and you would have that negative 1 left. So it's up to you how you want to write it. If you wrote it with the red, you cancel off the factors, you'd have a negative 1 left. If you wrote it like my black ones here, I would just cancel those, and I just put a negative 1 on there because I know there's going to be a negative 1 somewhere. Okay? What's left in my numerator is a 6 times negative 1. I don't usually cancel my, or reduce my coefficients. I usually rewrite it first, then reduce it. So, but you could if you wanted to. If you automatically saw that 6 divides by 2 and you get a 3, then you could do that. I just get rid of anything that's in brackets first, and then I look. My numerator is 6 times a negative 1, so it's a negative 6. My denominator is going to be a 2m times by 1, so it's a 2m. And now I have no adding and subtracting. I have a negative for a negative number, but I have no adding and subtracting, so I can vertically reduce my 6 over 2. What does 6 over 2 reduce to be? 3, right? Or in this case, a negative 3. The m is still left. It's got to stay where it's at. So it was in the denominator, so I have to keep it in the denominator. Comma, m cannot be. So I go back up to my original question where it's factored, which is right here. Okay? Then I can think of these as their own factors if I want to. What makes a 2, 0? Nothing. 2's 2. What makes an m 0? Well, 0. So m can't be 0. What about this m minus 5? M can't be 5. Good. Nothing makes a 6, 0. Nothing makes a 1, 0 because there's 6 and 1. But I do need to check for non-permissible values after this division as well. So what's that one? What are those going to be? If you're not sure on the side, you could write 2m plus 3 equals 0. What makes that 0? You would subtract your 3 over and divide by 2. The other one, you'd add your 3 over and divide by 2. So either way, you're going to have a plus and minus 3 over 2, or 1.5.